You ever have a moment where you're just trying to do you, keep things simple, stress-free, and suddenly you're accused of crushing someone else's dream? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. And now, I'm being painted as the villain for saying no to a dress. Yeah, a dress. Let me take you back to the beginning. I'm 26, and after a long few years of job hopping and city switching, I'm finally settling down. I just got engaged to the love of my life, and we're planning a wedding that feels true to us. Simple, elegant, and as drama-free as humanly possible. Now, I have a niece. She's 16, sweet, artistic, and deeply into sewing. It's her thing. She loves making clothes and posts everything she creates on Instagram and TikTok. She even dreams of being a fashion designer one day, which, honestly, I think is pretty cool. So one night, during a family dinner, someone casually asked me if I've chosen my wedding dress yet. I said not yet, just browsing online, maybe planning to visit a boutique soon. That's when my niece perked up. She smiled and said, "I could make it for you." The table went quiet. She was glowing with excitement. My sister, her mom, nodded enthusiastically. My mom gasped like it was the most romantic idea in the world. And for a second, I just smiled, trying to process it all. Because here's the thing. She's 16. Yes, she's talented. Yes, she has passion. But we're talking about my wedding dress, the most important outfit of my life, one I want to feel perfect in, one that has to fit like a glove and photograph like a dream. So I said, gently, "That's really sweet, but I already had a specific style in mind. I think I'm going to go with a professional dressmaker." And the vibe in the room instantly changed. My niece's face dropped. My sister's smile tightened. The room filled with silence and swallowed spaghetti. I didn't think much of it at the time. I figured it was a minor disappointment and that we'd all move on. Boy, was I wrong. The next day, my phone lit up with a text from my sister. It started off passive-aggressive and went full throttle by paragraph 3. Apparently, my niece had been crying all night. She thought I didn't believe in her, that I saw her passion as a joke, that I crushed her confidence. I was stunned. I mean, I didn't insult her. I didn't laugh in her face. I just didn't want a 16-year-old making the most important garment I'll probably ever wear. So I replied carefully. I told my sister I totally support my niece's dreams. I even offered to have her design another dress for a different occasion, maybe a rehearsal dinner or engagement shoot. That way, she'd still be a part of the celebration, just not under the high-stakes pressure of the dress. But that only seemed to make things worse. My sister accused me of throwing scraps to my niece, of being elitist, of not trusting family. It blew up fast. Next thing I know, I'm being side-eyed in the family group chat, and my aunt posted a cryptic Facebook status about supporting young talent that definitely wasn't subtle. And now, I'm stuck wondering if I really am the jerk here. Did I rob a young girl of her big break? Did I crush the spirit of a future fashion icon? Or am I just a woman trying to feel beautiful on her wedding day? Here's where I need to zoom out. Because it's not just about me or her. It's about boundaries. It's about how sometimes, especially in family, we get guilt-tripped into sacrificing our comfort for someone else's ego trip. And yeah, I said it. Because here's what no one's talking about. Making a wedding dress is not a school project. It takes weeks, months, of fittings, material selection, pattern adjustments, and precision. It's It's not just a Pinterest board and a sewing machine. It's a full-on pressure cooker level responsibility. And if something goes wrong, if the fit is off, the zipper breaks, or the style isn't right, then what? I smile and pretend I'm not disappointed? I pay for an emergency rush job days before my wedding? Or, worst of all, I wear something I don't feel beautiful in, just to protect someone else's feelings? No, thank you. Let me be clear. I love that my niece is passionate. I love that she's dreaming big. And I want to be the aunt who cheers her on every step of the way. But I won't hand her the steering wheel to my wedding. Because this isn't about teaching her to sew. It's about teaching her to respect a no. And that might just be the most valuable lesson she learns on her way to being a designer. Now, let's talk about the internet. Because naturally, once I started doubting myself, I did what most of us do. I turned to Reddit. I posted the full story, asked if I was in the wrong, and the responses came flooding in. Some people were on my side. They said, "You're not a jerk for wanting to feel secure on your wedding day." Others took the opposite approach. They said, "It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a young girl. Why not let her try?" And then there were the middle ground folks, those wise Reddit sages who said something that stuck with me. Support doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means offering realistic, loving alternatives. Boom, that's it. Because I didn't slam the door. I didn't laugh at her dream. I simply said, "Not this time, not this dress." But here's what really gets me. If the roles were reversed, if I told my niece I wanted her to wear a dress I designed for her wedding, she'd probably be polite about it, and then say no. And you know what? I'd respect that, because it's her day, just like this is mine. So, to the people watching this right now, especially the brides, the aunts, the sisters, the dreamers, let me ask you this. Where do you draw the line between kindness and people-pleasing? Where do you stop saying yes just to keep the peace and start protecting your own joy? Because that's the real question here. Not whether a dress was made, but whether a boundary was crossed. And I'm willing to bet a lot of you have been in that exact situation. Maybe not with a dress, but with something. You said no, they got hurt, and suddenly, you're the bad guy, even when all you did was choose yourself. Let that sink in. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is hold your ground, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. So, to wrap this up, let me give you my final take as the voice behind AITA Stories. This isn't just a tale about a disappointed niece. It's a lesson in emotional maturity. It's about teaching young people to hear no without falling apart. It's about families learning that support doesn't always come in the shape they want. And it's about knowing that your special day doesn't have to be a charity project. You're not selfish for wanting peace. You're not heartless for saying no. You're just human, and that's okay. But now, I want to hear from you. If you were in my shoes, would you have let her sew the dress? Drop a comment. Let the debate begin. And hey, whether you're the bride, the niece, or the Reddit lurker with popcorn in hand, remember this: boundaries are love, and love doesn't always say yes. Thanks for listening. See you in the next episode of AITA Stories.